Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning with me, Brigand Hall. So we're right here, we're going to push forward, and there's two bog thrushes up ahead. So let's go thrash these thrushes. Oh, and they've got purple names, okay. Did not expect that. Still, the fight did not go poorly, but definitely did not expect purple named enemies. I guess we're starting to get into areas that are I guess that matches our level. Finally, it's been quite some time. Ever since I did the DLC, enemies have been lagging behind. Odie's camp. Sergeant Odie, Alpar Soldier, and Broon the Bard.
Well, I expected to see a lot of things out here in Caeled, but not the hero of Melsenshire. What brings you this far south? I am Sergeant Odie, twice decorated officer and now civilian escort. I guess you could say that I'm really working my way up the chain of command.
Shouldn't your ears be inside your helmet? I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I feel as though the point of the helmet is to protect your head and all of your head's accessories. And if your ears are sticking out of your helmet... whatever. Escort.
I have allowed 2 citizens to travel within my unit, which I probably should not do. But I have a weakness for those in need. Guess it comes from my past as a healer. Oh, Broon the Bard is not so bad. I actually knew him as a kid, if you can believe that. He's a little excitable, but harmless. I cannot say the same about Alof, the hunter. Strange sort, that one. He insists on staying outside our camp. Says we stand in the way of his quarry. To each his own.
Okay, Aryan Odie.
No one has called me by my given name in years. I'm just Sergeant now. Been that way for a long while. I used to be a healer, but lost my gifts when the war came. Something about all the carnage, the death, it bled the magic right out of me. So I took up a sword. It was all I could do. We all need to carry our own weight in this tragedy. And mine is to fight.
Okay, Caeled Coast.
Oh, I never should have ended up here. My family's ship was tossed into the cliffs during a storm, and I was the only survivor. The Ancillars saved me. They raised me as one of their own. I may not be native to these lands, but they are the closest thing I've ever had to a home. Goodbye.
Hail, adventurer. I am Broon the Bard, spinner of stories, seeker of adventure. Allow me to welcome you to the Caeled Coast, haven to the wise and wicked. These brave soldiers, the finest of the Alfar armies. They escorted me all the way from Melsenshire to these verdant lands. Alas, our journey together has come to an end. But there is still adventure to be had, so join me. If not, then I bid you fair warning. Your journey shall be far less exciting without this storyteller at hand.
What do you do? Well, let's shop first. Alright, what do you do? Let's start here. Alfar Army.
The wonderful gentlemen and ladies of the Alfar armies have been kind enough to act as my loyal escorts, all the way from Melsenshire, and before that, Rathir. Without these good, hearty folk, I never would have survived. The voyage across the sea would have been enough to sink my spirits.
Broon the Bard.
Broon was the name given to me by my mother, a lovely daughter of the full moon. A skin like the glow of Alabastra. Long ago, I was the court bard of Castle Gastier, the teller of tales, the spinner of stories. But when the Bolgan invaded, well, they had no need of my expertise.
Okay, Caeled Coast.
This lush land was once the royal domain of two great Alfar families, the Ancillas and the Gastirs, the most powerful of bloodlines and the most bitter of enemies. For centuries, the two houses warred over the coast. So enamored were they with each other that they blinded themselves to the real threat. And so the Bolgan came and conquered. The houses fell before them. One might say they were toppled by their pride.
Castle Gastir.
Lord Aaron Gastir was a very wealthy lord and a powerful landowner. I don't care to speak much more on the subject, thank you.
And what do you do?
A wise question, and a fair one. As Bard of the Gastir Court, I know all the tales of the Caeled Coast, of how this great land rose and fell, and became what it is now. Allow me the pleasure of your company, and I will lead you through these luxuriant lands, spinning stories of times long since past.
Alright, I'd like to hear your stories.
I had a good feeling about you. Someone who cherishes a good story. Let us proceed. The first stop on our tour begins across the bridge behind me. Alas, there is one small problem. That area is favored by our enemies. If you can clear the area of them, I will follow and join you.
And what do you need?
We must clear the spot ahead of Bolgan. It is a famous place, and they sully it with their presence and their stench. Goodbye.
Okay. He wants me to go that way. Well,
Be on your guard.
I'm gonna go this way first. Because there's a lore stone to be had. It'll apply to his quest anyway, since it's probably gonna take us around this area.
Through the woods and mountainside, through the hollows and green meadow, through the summer, winter, day and night, through the hallowed halls of seasons and song, through the vengeance, pride and sorrow, echo the footfalls of the greaves of the Fey Hunter.
Fey Hunter, hey, we had that armor equipped for a brief period of time. Attacks come out so darn fast. It is the Barghest. See, they're usually accompanied by a Barghest or something. Or wolves.
The Tuatha have forced their war upon us. They eagerly cut through mortal flesh and mortal bone, and as a reminder of their butchery, they display these mortal corpses throughout the land, turning sanctity into putrescence. The bodies remain on our ground and on our gallows tree, bloated and corrupt.
Minus 10% equip cost. At this point in the game, that's useless. That should be a bonus for something. An earlier area. So I got a little cheated on that lore stone bonus. That is just right down. Yeah, let's go grab this. This chest will get back in. Oh, the bard's coming to us. Oh no.
Excellent work. You are clearly much more proficient in the ways of war than most visitors of the Caeled Coast. even the soldiers.
Man, I don't mean to brag, but I am level 40. So, tell me a story.
It would be my great pleasure. Picture it. 10 years ago, the rising sun, a lingering fog. Somewhere in the forest are screams, the cries of battle. Then, silence. It happened here upon this site. The ambush of Gorn Akri. It is here on this spot where the Bolgan drew first blood, killing Lord Erengastir, his son, and their squires during their morning ride. Let us move on, shall we? And if you don't mind, there are more beasts to attend to ahead. Goodbye. Free the area around Castle Gastir from Bolgan, and we can continue on our journey.
And what's next?
The Bolgan have infested the entire area around Castle Gastir, my old home. Destroy them, and I will relate the tale of the first Lord of Gastir himself. Goodbye.
It's an awful lot of work for a story. She's probably gonna get her quest as well. Or his, I don't know. What's her name? Alof. That could be a guy. Guess we'll just have to head up there and find out.
A fledgling hunter by the looks of it. What's someone so soft doing in the Caeled Coast? Don't you know this is Bolgan country? Those red devils are really digging in. I've slain many on my hunt for Chernabog.
Chernabog. That's the, I know it's an actual mythological deity? Creature? Figure? But it's also in the original Fantasia. I don't remember the name of the piece, but the one with the demon coming out of the mountain, that's the Chernabog. Chernabog.
The oldest and mightiest of the living Bolgan. He led the armies of Gadflo to victory over the houses of Ancilla and Gastir. Chernabog may be ancient and marred by war, but don't let that fool you. He is as strong as ever.
Caeled Coast.
The Tuatha and the Bolgan have kept this land in their greedy pockets for more than 10 years. They can have it for all I care. It's a stagnant pit of decay and despair.
Alof the Hunter.
Ha! My hunts are the stuff of legend. Not even that Fey armor-tear can boast to have tracked and slain more prey than I. And now I intend to claim Chernabog, the Bolgan champion, as my greatest trophy from the Caeled Coast.
Alfar Army.
Grand fellows and courageous to a fault. They're the ones who accompanied me this far. Helped me pass through all their bloody checkpoints. Of course, once I had the chance to take leave of them, I did. One doesn't need a band of glory hunters following him on the most glorious hunt of his career.
Who are you?
The scars don't give me away? Ha! You're probably the first person in recorded history not to recognize the mighty Alof the Hunter. Usually my reputation precedes me. As for why I am here in this muggy puddle of piss, I intend to conquer Chernabog, the mighty Bolgan, and win his eye as my trophy. But first he must be summoned, for he won't just face any foe, you know. Only those he deems worthy to smite with his blade.
I'd like to challenge him.
Ha! You're certainly welcome to try, but I'm afraid he'll be much too dead by the time I finish with him. Besides, you still have the offering to consider. Chernabog will only battle those who can prove their ferocity. It is his way of swatting away the flies who don't offer enough of a thrill for his fiery blood. If you can collect the eyes of 10 Bolgans, then you are clearly a warrior who deserves a reckoning. Set the eyes upon Chernabog's war lanterns and the beast will emerge.
How do I summon Chernabog?
By offering the bloodthirsty beast the eyes of 10 Bolgan that you have slain. Once you place that bloody offering on the pedestal and light the war fires, the ugly brute will emerge.
Hunts.
I've traveled the world and hunted all manner of beasts. I track them down, claim their heads and hides as mine. Krang the Etin, I slew him, as I did the Fist of Corthis and the clan of Craddock Elders in Gallifall. Goodbye.
Craddock Elders. This sounds awful. Oh yeah, I never did find out how to get to these chests over here, did I? So there's chests in between those two dungeons in the previous area up here. Like in this river. I never figured out how to get up there.
Who approaches me?
Black Eric 7. One of a series of books featuring the people's hero Black Eric, aka the Sprightly One, and his adventures across Amalur. This is the first one we found. Black Eric and the Trinabog. Chapter 7, the Caeled Coast. The two warriors faced each other beneath the verdant boughs of the Green Coast, two dark shades in a vast ocean of shadow, as the tips of their war flames curled up to snap at the stars like hatchlings yearning for their mother's feed. Around and around the figures turned, blades aglow in the firelight, eyes white with mutual contempt, till the roar of the red beast split asunder the silence of the twilight, as the cries of a wee babe drives its mother to fear. The ground shuddered beneath the weight of Chernabog's anger, as he set forth on a path to strike down our hero, and demand his death in good order. For there is no surrender in the eye of the Bolgan, and their victories are washed only in this sweet red tang of blood. The Sprightly One froze in his stance, shield raised to meet the approaching fiend. There was not time for escape, even for the most hushed of utterance to flee his quivering lips, for the beast was upon him. In all the minutes of his lifetime, never had our hero considered the prospect of defeat. Nay, such judgment was folly. But as the mighty beast descended on as the storm clouds hang endlessly above the sodden soldier, it seemed that the end of Black Eric had finally come. Or had it? For beyond the veil of mistake and regret, and far greater than any mortal terror or passion for survival, came a far more potent an urge, the one called love. Maya called Black Eric as he pushed back the bulk of Chernabog. I will come for you. Okay, so that's where we fight Chernabog, it seems. But we gotta deal with some Bolgan first. Oops, forgot to block. Alright, so it doesn't look like they all drop eyes, which is going to be a little disappointing. Yeah, keep running to your deaths, that's fine. It's weird, this chest isn't marked on the map. Tuatha Cow. Can get flow dresses twat. Oh, we've already read that description before. Another chest. Why are these chests marked on the map? +2 to sorcery abilities. Well, bunch of garbage to me. But it's cool, it's just the one item gives a +2, so you don't have to worry about... You can have better optimized equipment in your other slots. Wish I could find a might version of that. That's what y'all get. Alright, so this is Damal Rock. This is for the House of Sorrows quest, right? Or is this the main quest? Either way, we'll deal with it later. Let's see if this takes us down to the southern side of the Caeled Coast. Let's go ahead and get to the bridge. When I saw this bridge with the torches here, I got a very strong Attack the Power of Juju vibe. I haven't thought about that game in a long time. I was more of a Jack and Daxter guy myself, but I did have the first attack. I think it was a trilogy, just like the Jack and Daxter games were too. No, there was a fourth Jack game. Was it Jack X? It was a racing game though. Never played that one. Where y'all going? Get back here. Why'd y'all spawn? It's weird. Alright, easy peasy. Thought I came back because we need these eyes. I don't want to have to wait for Bolgan to start respawning before I can get the eyes that I need. Well, that's really cool looking. Cut him down. Dodged the wrong way each time. There we go. He should come running, right? Yeah. So we'll make him work for it while we go hunt down these chests.
done it. You have rid the gates of the Bolgan. As promised, I have another tale to be told.
Alright, tell me about Gastir.
The very first Eren Gastir arrived here generations ago from Mel Senshir, before the final tower was raised. When the great giants of Cluracan were but saplings, on that very first morning of his arrival, while the sun ascended the sky, Gastir scaled the heights and saw below him the great keep of the merchant Ancilla. Gastir could not bear such an intrusion on his new ancestral homeland, and swore an oath. By right of mine and sword in hand, I will not forsake our native land. Now that you've seen Castle Gastir, we should move on to the final stop on our journey.
Where's the final stop?
The last thing I want to show you is near the coast, on the cliffs overlooking the sea. It's the best story yet, but again, it must be freed of Bolgan. Goodbye.
Well, at least this guy's being nice and patient. I appreciate it, Bolgan. What? I guess the angle was off? Let me roll past him. Yeah, we'll go this way first, I guess. Magnan's gloves. We've read that before. That's forever ago, though. Is that a low-level set of gear? Oh, so we can jump down. Interesting. Okay, let's finish this quest on going this way. Celestial Cowl. Gold thread compounded with stardust supports the enchantments that ornament this the cowl, not crown. No, put it in the junk. The junk drawer, since we don't have... It's gonna block the next attack. Sweet. And that should do it for the eyes that we need.
Hello. There. You've cleansed this place of the Bolgan. I shall tell you the last tale, the best of the lot. Believe me, these cliffs were made for my story.
What happened on these cliffs?
I've told the tale of the first Eren Gastir, he who discovered these lands. And I've told the tale of his descendant, the last Eren Gastir, he who lost these lands. My final tale is that this last lord took a young mistress to his bed, a servant named Wilda Brandon. They had a child he refused to claim as his own. To assuage his guilt, he wrote a royal letter in which he decreed to her and the child great wealth. But rather than take that letter, she took her own life. Here, that woman was my mother. Hear me, friend. I do not have much, but I will offer you all that I have to find me that letter. The letter that broke my mother's heart.
And what will you do with it?
I will read it, and I will finally know if what my mother told me was true. Then I will destroy it. I want nothing to do with the Gastirs. My mother never wanted his kingdom. She only wanted his love. That letter has haunted me for 10 years. I will now be rid of it. Of him.
He says telepathically. Well, friends help each other.
Friends? Yes. I suppose we are friends. I'm not sure where to look for Father's letter. Father. Strange to call him that. I would think he'd keep it near, lest such revelations be discovered. The castle. That would make some sense, wouldn't it? I'll be back at camp. Be careful. I would feel terrible if anything happened to you.
Alright, where's the letter?
I remember my father having a chest near his throne. I always assumed it was where he kept his mother's personal possessions. Goodbye.
Okay.
The hunter runs. The hunter runs. Swiftly, swiftly for our lives. A mortal skirt of chain. A mesh of links forged in secret. The hunter runs. The hunter runs. In the chausses of the Fey Hunter.
Interesting. So I wonder if we swim all the way around. Let me go back and jump down this, I guess, jump point. Get that chest. I wonder if it... Oh no, it's right here. I'll have to jump down. For some reason I was thinking it was in the water.
Damn humidity.
But I guess it's not. Whoops. Hey, Karod's gauntlets. I did look. We have 3 pieces of the Karod set. We had the helmet, I think the chest piece, and the chassis. Now we just need the greaves since we just found the gauntlets. Cool. Just got some sweet new gear. What's up here? What are these Alphard guys doing here? Private Cornell.
Hey, what are you doing out here? Caeled Coast isn't a good place for a stroll, not at all. Do I know you? You have that look. Familiar. I fought with Captain Gastier at Melsenshire. Maybe we spent a few skirmishes together. I can't remember everything that happened. Can you?
A Castle Gastier.
If you are interested in sharing a bed with a Bolgan, you will want to take a stroll over to Gastier. The place is as red as they come, crammed with our big one-eyed friends.
Castle Ancilla.
That place is sharp stone, a wall. The only way we can get a force past the House of Pride and into Alabastra is to topple Ancilla. But not even the heir to that place can get inside. I heard rumors that an advanced team had been sent in to secure it. But rumors are rumors, right?
A Caeled Coast.
It's the last bastion in Cluricon, where we expected the Tuatha to form a stiff resistance. That hasn't happened. The castles have been overrun, but that's about it. It's been pretty quiet, actually. I've spent most of my time keeping my sword sharp and hoping to spot the Southern Lights.
Alphar Army.
We've been making good time through Cluricon. Melsenshire was the dam, and now the river is out of control. We'll be in Alabastra soon enough.
Southern Lights.
They are a magical phenomenon that occur only in the Caeled Coast. Some in the Scholia Arcana believe the lights were created by Lord Gastier's personal mage, Braxis. The story claims that after the fall of Gastier, Braxis enchanted the royal fortunes, hiding them in a spell that only the most persistent adventurer would uncover. If you believe in such rot. I cannot lie, though. The lights are gorgeous. You can see them after dark, if you stand over by the old Gastier shrine on the cliffs. Don't go too far.
Old Gastier Shrine on the cliffs. That one? I'm curious though.
It's yours.
Is there a place for me to sleep? Can't use that one. You can't just wait, can you? I think you have to actually sleep. We'll see if we can find a bed and then rest there. Cool, seems like I can stun lock them with the chakrams. Makes killing them a lot easier. They don't get a chance to recover and try and block my attacks. Pretty decent crit chance with those things. Pretty decent crit chance indeed. Let's see. I don't want to risk triggering this quest up here. We can probably speak to them and not follow through with it, right?
The House of Sorrows never forgets a debt. Or a grudge.
Oh yeah, what do I do here?
Stand in the pool of shadow, close your eyes, and touch the tree. I'll take care of the rest. And don't open your eyes while you're moving through the shadows, no matter what you hear. We will meet again.
The Tuatha are on the run. Good work.
Thanks.
Plus, it's much more pleasant here without Gadflow bellowing at me from all corners. But enough pleasantry. Are you prepared for your reunion with Ventrinio?
I mean, I guess so. What are you talking about?
The notes we got from Octien say that you were employed as Ventrinio's assistant in his secret laboratory. You were with him in Alabastra when you died, but the notes weren't clear on what happened. I'm sure the two of you have so much catching up to do.
Alright, well, I've got no grudge with him, as far as I know.
Very forthright of you. I'm sure he'll be very reasonable. He probably won't even ask why you're back from the dead. Just make sure he lives long enough to get us into Alabastra, and you can count on my help.
Ventrinio.
He's a worm, but a useful one. Octien took quite a risk setting him up in Cluracan. Must have made a lot of deals to keep him safely hidden away.
Danestar.
Danestar is almost perfectly defended. Ventrinio could keep an army off of its shores. Good thing we found another way there.
Shadow Walk.
Secret fey paths through elemental darkness? Magic like that should be closely guarded. Imagine how powerful it could be.
Alright, I'm not going to say ready to go because I'm not ready to go. I really have the 2 dungeons here, so I think we can knock out the rest of this area in the next episode, and then we can, the one after that, we'll go to Danestar. So yeah, I think I'm going to call the episode here, and the next one we'll start by taking on the Chernobog. And then we'll take care of Damal Rock and Castle Gastir. There was something else that I wanted to do. Oh yeah, the lights. Let's travel over here. Let's see if it's still nighttime. It's like daytime or nighttime to you guys? The stars out. I'm gonna say it's nighttime.
Hello.
Well, lights are shining down on him. I don't know if that's supposed to be...
It is well known that Castle Gastir fell to the Bolgan during the invasion. Goodbye.
Can I ask about the
It is
Seven
well
Lights?
known that Castle Gastir... Goodbye.
This is the shrine it's talking about, right? Because we didn't get a quest for it, so I'm assuming we don't do anything with it. Or maybe the treasure was supposed to be his mother. Maybe he truly did love his mother.
Hello.
And so he had the mage set up these lights to commemorate where she took her life. I don't know. Or I'm just not there at the right time. Maybe I'll fiddle with it off camera. Either way, we have a plan for the next episode. I'm going to call this one here. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.